Now here on a 2-layer piece of cheesecloth, I've just cut out about a 7-inch square, and you can put on 1 or 2 sticks of cinnamon sticks, some allspice, which makes up for the nutmeg that I cannot have. Allspice is a good replacement for nutmeg. It's also just great anyway, but for those of you who have SVT or supraventricular tachycardia, this is a great item to replace nutmeg or mace, which is the part of the nutmeg. So trust me, I've had my heart stopped and restarted twice because of taking nutmeg. So I've replaced it with allspice, and that seems to be a wonderful alternative. And then also some whole cloves. And I've put in about maybe about a half a teaspoon of the allspice and maybe a teaspoon of the whole cloves, and just 1 or 2 cinnamon sticks here. And we're just going to make ourselves a little spice bag here. Kind of moving it around here. Give that a nice twist to make sure nothing comes out. I don't want anybody biting into a whole clove or a whole allspice. I want to be able to take this right back out again. So we're going to tie that up nice and tight with some good kitchen string. And our spice bag is ready to go. Alright, so let's get started on our ingredients for our cranberry sauce. Now, the juice off of this can definitely be used for the jellied cranberry sauce. So you can definitely strain this and then put this in canning jars and can this up. This is my recipe for it. So I know that if I go the 18 minutes, 15 to 18 minutes, I don't worry about this. Some people just turn the jar upside down and then let it self-seal. I don't do that. I always like to water bath can everything. Or if in doubt, pressure can it. But this can be water bath can. It's got plenty of lemon juice. I put the lemon juice in the apples. It's got the orange juice. It's got the cranberries. All of this has plenty of pectin. And when you see how it gels, you'll see what I mean. This works, okay? So let's get started on the actual amounts of the ingredients. Here I have 2 bags of the 12 ounces of cranberries. So that's 24 ounces of cranberries. And these are just by Ocean Spray. Heck, if you can get your own cranberry bush going, then that would be great. Then here you saw where I put the apples and a little bit of lemon juice. And you can use this juice if you want to. We're going to be adding a cup of brown sugar and a half a cup of white sugar. Here I have a cup of no pulp orange juice. You can use either, it's fine. And or you can use the fresh squeezed orange juice and the zest off of one of the large oranges. Now here I have some cranberry black cherry juice, and there is a cup of that here. Here I've got a half a cup of chopped candied pineapple, and it's just beautiful. I also have a 15-ounce can of dark sweet cherries with the juice. If you'd like, you can add chopped pecans to this, but I don't can nuts, so I'm going to leave the pecans out. Now here I have my roasted pecan syrup. You can use maple syrup, whatever you like. This is a 1/4 cup of real maple syrup. Okay, here I've got a tablespoon of my homemade orange extract. And then I'm going to be adding 1 teaspoon of my cherry extract. You can mix and play around with what flavors you like. You can add rum to this, rum flavoring. I can think of all kinds of things that you can add to this. And a pinch of salt to draw out the flavors of the fruits and the cranberries, okay? And, of course, I just showed you how to make my spice bag, which has the cinnamon sticks, the cloves, and the allspice in here, okay? Plus, I'll be adding those chopped oranges you just saw me chop. All right, let's get started. So I'm going to rinse the fruit here, and we're just going to check them all really well for any bad ones. These all look really good. Look how beautiful those are. And we're just going to give them an extra good rinse here. Oop, we got a runaway. Again, we're just going to check this bag as well. Anything that looks like right there, like it's got a bad spot right there, Usually you won't get too many, but if you do, get rid of them. You never want to put any kind of bad or bruised fruit into home canned goods, okay? These are ready to go. That's it. That's all we had to do. All right, we'll be right back. You're going to want to use a flat-edged wood spoon for this, okay? Let's see how this one does. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put all of our ingredients in before we turn on our heat. It's going to include the 2 oranges and all this beautiful juice. You notice today I've had one run away no matter what I've done. Now we're just going to blend those in with the cranberries. It's already looking pretty. Now we're going to take our apples and we're just going to use our hands and we're just going to strain those in. Again, like I said, reserving this lemon juice. And if a little bit gets in, that's fine too. Our dried fruits, the golden raisins, the dried cherries, and there's a dried cherry right there, and dried blueberries, which is right there. There's a dried blueberry right there. Okay, dump those in. Honey, it's all good. But my family loves this. This is great on turkey, chicken, pork. Oh my goodness. And it's good year-round. It's even good on turkey or chicken or some sort of a pork roast type sandwich. All right? If you own a restaurant, make some of this up, can it up, and put it on the shelf. Your customers, especially during the holidays, will love you for it. Next, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our sugar. That's a 1/2 cup of sugar. I'm going to adjust the sweetness here in just a second. I may need more. I'm going to add in my loose cup of brown sugar. All right, here I'm going to add 1 cup of the orange juice. Add 1 cup of the cranberry black cherry juice. I'm going to add in this 15-ounce can of the cherries. And if you want, you can cut these in half. That's fine. These are really good. They almost have like a plum look to them, and that's why I add them. I mean, believe it or not, canned cherries just don't have a whole lot of flavor. Add the orange zest here. And I like to kind of sprinkle it in there and kind of get it there. Get it all. It's all good. Our candied pineapple. You can add crystallized ginger. Just make sure you cut it up. You can add mango, whatever you like. I like the pineapple, and my family likes the pineapple. What do you think? Isn't this looking beautiful? And we're going to cook this until these cranberries split and pop open, and then you'll cook them for another 5 to 10 minutes on top of that. All right, we're going to add in our roasted pecan syrup. Remember, you can add pecans to this and or maple syrup. I'm adding in the roasted pecan syrup. Perfect. I'm going to add in a tablespoon of my orange extract, and I'm going to add in a teaspoon of my own cherry extract. Remember, homemade is stronger than store-bought on the extracts, okay? So, and I'm going to add in 1 pinch, 2 pinches of salt. All right, now we're going to turn on the heat, and we're going to turn the heat on a medium-high. Stir this up. Okay, we're going to see how much liquid we got here. I think this is going to be fine. I'm going to have to add a little bit more. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? So we're going to make a spot here in the middle, and we're going to put in our spice bag right down in there, just like that right there. Okay. Pile the fruit kind of up on top of it, and then smash it back down. Might need a little bit more juice. So if you feel like it needs more juice, you can add water to this at this point, which I don't like to do. I mean, when you can add, you know, I already added the cherry juice out of the can of cherries. You can use more of the cran black cherry or more of the orange juice. Depends on what flavor you're going for. I think it has plenty of orange in there. I'm going to add just a little bit more of the black cherry juice, because that's what I like. And then we're not going to add any more sugar to this until we've cooked it for about 5 minutes and this has started to split open. And then I'm going to taste sample this and we're going to see the flavors. We're going to see where it's going. Okay? It's never too late with this to adjust flavors. Never too late. And this recipe is a recipe I made up a few years ago. And I've seen similar recipes to it, but not quite. Not quite like mine. And mine has been adapted over the years. This is just what the kids should reduce to almost a half to 3/4 of what it was. And we'll be right back to show you the next stage. We'll be right back. Be sure and hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you along for the ride here on our little homestead, okay? Okay, you're gonna start hearing these kind of pop as it starts coming up to a simmer, okay? And when that starts happening and these start opening up, you're gonna notice your juice getting a little bit thicker as it goes here. It won't take long, but you'll wanna make sure that as this juice thickens up, that you do not let this burn on the bottom. So you'll have to adjust your heat up and down until you get it just right. You might have to adjust your heat down to a light simmer once it starts thickening up. And so you can see a couple of them are already starting to pop here. See? And you can hear them pop too. See, they're already soft inside and they're already starting to pop. Took about 6 minutes. I want these all to pop open. Trust me, once they go, they'll get soft really quickly. And this will release all that pectin. And the color on this is just absolutely stunning. And you might want to test it at this stage for sweetness as well. And by the way, if you want to make just the cranberry jelly, you can strain this, what have you, and then you can use this also in breads. Okay, you can just take all of this and bake it into bread. Yeah, let me give this a juice a taste here and let's see how I'm doing here with the. Got some nice, there we go. It's got some nice coloring to the juice. But see, it's got a little bit of a sheen to it. It's not really ready yet to thicken up. Perfect. And keep it uncovered. We don't want to cover it at this point. We want this liquid to thicken up with all that wonderful pectin. What you're seeing right here, that's perfect. Okay, this is at 3 minutes in. I've got this turned down to number 2. And it's still going to town. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit more. And it's actually starting to thicken up now. Keep it bubbling, but keep it moving. Nobody wants a burnt flavored. Okay, here it's 7 minutes after we just talked to you. And I'm just once in a while pushing this through, and you can really see this is really starting to thicken up. See that? It's looking really good. The juice is really starting to thicken up here, and this juice is the stuff that makes for some wonderful cranberry jelly or cranberry sauce. You don't have to add anything to it. This hardens up in the jar just like this after you can it up. All right. I just like mine more of a chutney. I like it more of a sauce with chunks, you know, with the fruit in it still. This is what I like. Those candied pineapple are just really absorbing the flavor. And it's just that perfectness between the spices and the sweet and sour. It's just perfect. I've heard tell people actually put in cider vinegar in this. I think apple cider would be good, or apple juice. So change it up, switch it up, come up with a recipe that you like. This is mine. This is what we like. You can see on here that beautiful coloring. Isn't that beautiful? And you can see it starting in the cold. It's starting to actually gel up a little bit. That's good. You can cold plate test this. It doesn't matter. This isn't jam. It just kind of comes into consistency of like a cranberry sauce. But man, if you don't want that stuff in the can at the store and you want to know what goes in, what you've got going on here, it is just absolutely delicious. I do suggest you give my recipe a try. There are a lot of very similar recipes out there. That just tells me that you can kind of do, when you're in your own kitchen, you can kind of do what you want with it actually. You make it as sweet or as much sugar or brown sugar as you like. And if you want, you can actually add stevia to this. Probably will get people that will ask me that. You can do that, all right? So now we're going to let this go for probably about another 5 minutes, and we'll see how it looks then. I say we're almost done. Okay, it's been 12 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and call this done. When it looks like this right here, okay, and the juice barely folds in on your spoon, on your flat spoon, just like this right here. And it's sheeting off just like that. Then you know that this is ready, okay? And this will thicken up in the jar. It's perfect right now. So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna water bath can this up for 18 minutes for pints. Same amount of time for half pints, okay? We're getting our first snow. Look at that. It didn't even call for it. It's so beautiful. Love a good snow. Okay, we'll just put this into a quart jar. I don't can quart jars of this. This is just the stuff that I'm taking with us to the Thanksgiving dinner. You can see that sheen on top there? Isn't that beautiful? And it's already starting to thicken up there. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna debubble it just because it's a habit. You should. Right when you see how nice and thick that's getting. And again, you can strain this out, the fruit out, and you can have the cranberry sauce, the jellied cranberry sauce like you're used to. Hot lid. Finger tight, and we're going to sit this down and back down inside the water bath. If I was to can it, but I don't usually can quarts like I said. I'm just going to sit this aside and I'm going to let this cool, and it is absolutely stunning. And there we have it, a quart of beautiful cranberry sauce. I just absolutely, this is very hot. You gotta be very careful. Just gonna let it kind of cool in the jar here. And I put it in one of the ball twist jars there. And that's going to make an awesome gift. And we'll be right back when we get the rest of them jarred up. Okay, so we're going to get about 5.5 pints to 6 pints out of this batch. Isn't that beautiful? You can see the chunks of, you can see the golden raisins and the apples in there. And then I want to show you how this is starting to set up. Can you see that? Starting to set up and pull itself off away from the jar. That's perfect. This is Chef and Builder Janie Pendleton. I hope you've enjoyed this video. God bless.